began as a test for Mann has turned into a fury of pulling power. From air-launching monster trucks to the quest for speed and time, the unlimited matching of wheels and motors has sent us spinning into the world of wheel power. Power-packed motorsports. It's the excitement of power that puts man on the edge and the quest for victory that takes him over.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Como, Wisconsin for this, the 21st anniversary pull here of the nation's #1 Super National Truck and Tractor Pull. Tonight we'll see the 7,500-pound Super Stock, the smoker class, probably the best and truest expression of truck and tractor pulling. Sit back, you can enjoy yourself, stand up and stretch. We'll be right back right after this. Welcome back. It's time for competition in 7,500-pound super stocks. The test puller in this class out of Ghent, Kentucky, Brian Korth, International 766. Will be our first and test puller down the track, meaning he has the option of getting down the track and making the decision of whether he wants to do it again. Can he do it better than he did the first time the track? Test puller in this class out of Ghent, Kentucky, Brian Korth, International 766. A good, solid, straight shot down the track for Brian Korth tonight. Test puller down the track. It's his option, up or down, whether he wants to keep this run. Brian Korth's distance at 276.5 gives us the starting point is Larry Dunham out of Strum, Wisconsin. Not too far down the road, right here. He's at home. This is a home pull for him at Como, Wisconsin. He's on board a white 218. Larry Dunham, another one of our alcohol burning competitors here tonight. You'll notice that many of these tractors here in our 7,500-pound super stock class, alcohol burning. About half of what you'll see this evening are alcohol burning tractors. Larry Dunham, no different right here. 276.5 has been laid down by Brian Korth. The distance to beat. Again, the leading distance sticker out here in front. We know where it is. Larry Dunham, 3208 Caterpillar motor on board a white 2180. And you can hear it as he came down the track. The alcohol tractors, the engines are a little different. They sound a little different. Whether it's a fuel-air mixture problem or whether we've got a wastegate problem on board the turbocharger, it's hard to say. 273.6 started to drift off a little bit to the left-hand side of the track. Eased it back, ended up in good shape. Lays down a beautiful run on board that white 2180 tonight. Our next competitor up out of Glencoe, Minnesota, Randy Rose on board an International 3688. 436 cubic inch displacement under the hood. This one is a smoker. That's right. You'll see the black smoke. Watch very carefully as this smoke changes from black, or from white to gray to black. That indicates the power is up. The smoke all gets black. He'll sidestep the clutch, and down the track he'll come. 276 and 5 has been laid down by Brian Korth out of Ghent, Kentucky, leading this class at the present time. Randy Rose, Glencoe, Minnesota, the next competitor to take a shot at him. Watch the smoke. Starts out white as he starts to build the boost. Slowly, slowly. He goes from white, starts to go to gray as he continues to bring the boost up on that power plant. It goes black right there. Here he comes. Randy Rose had a good, straight, smooth run with that good-looking 36 International out of Glencoe, Minnesota. 436, the power plant on board, the Deer Slayer. Next up, Larry Klein out of North Canton, Ohio. Larry's made a little bit of a change, not only to his tractor, but to the positioning of the sled on the starting line. Each one of the competitors has the opportunity to place the sled wherever they choose at the starting line. Larry Klein has felt the inside lane may work a little better for him. John Deere 4560, John Deere power plant under the hood. Remember, we're 7,500-pound super stock class. This has to be a stock engine right here. His prime example. Larry Klein, North Canton, Ohio, trying to make the track work for him tonight as he's picked a little different slot on the track to come down. Stay next to that inside line as long as he can. Larry Klein looking at Brian Korth's 276 and 5, the leading distance so far in this class. Brian Korth out of Ghent, Kentucky, sitting on first place. This is Larry Klein, North Canton, Ohio, John Deere 4560 power plant. Green flags are out. See what he can do.
Information out of the drivers, how they feel about their flow, so forth in the
That was not the decision he wanted to make. He tried a little different, placed himself a little close to that inside line. He drifted, and it didn't work for him. Larry Klein out of North Canton, Ohio.
Once again, we pump this for 1990.
Roger Peterson out of Litchfield, Michigan, on board a 1066 International, one of the true smokers. International versus John Deere versus Alice Chalmers, if you prefer. You'll see them all right here at Toma, the 7,500-pound super stock class. 436 cubic inch power plant on board Roger Peterson's 1066 International. Remember, Brian Korth is still sitting in first place at 276 and 5. Roger Peterson, tight chain, green flags out. Let him go to work. Just one more. That's what it says on the side, and that's what he needed. Just one more, or maybe 2 more feet to get into the top of the money tonight. Roger Peterson out of Litchfield, Minnesota, on just one more.
34.
Jeff Justice, Sydney, Illinois, a 4010 John Deere. This is the second of the green tractors down the track we've seen tonight. Right here is a power plant. Comes out of Sydney, Illinois, Jeff Justice on board that 4010 John Deere. He's got an international sitting in front at 276 and 5. And that's Brian Korth on a little bitty international 766. 40-10 out of Sydney, Illinois. Jeff Justice looks for the green flags. Alcohol burner once again. Alternative fuel in our super stock class. Jeff Justice is one of the ones that's trying to put things together and get things dialed in here at Toma. He makes it look oh so easy. Right down, very, very close to that leading distance. Laid down by Brian Korth.
9.8.
Lining up right now, probably one of the most popular, the smoker drivers. The super stock class, we're talking about Rob Russell out of Lenox, Iowa, on board the Case I-8. 436, the power plant on board. One of the true smokers and one that knows how to get it done. He can put the power to the track. Chose an inside track again next to the middle between the twin tracks here at Toma. Is that a wise decision? We'll find out. Rob Russell reads the track very, very well. We'll see how he gets along tonight. Looks down the track. He has everything lined up. Here he comes. Rob Russell. That does not look good. Does not look good underneath. He tried to build too much fire and put too much fire out too quickly. The water injection on board these power plants, they dump the water in to control the fire in the cylinder. Sometimes it gets away from him. That's what happened to Rob right there. While they get a hold of Mr. Rob Russell and move him from the track, we'll be back with more on wheel power right after this. Welcome back. 7,500-pound super stock brings Scott Buss out of Denver, Iowa to the line. On board is John Deere 4250. Now it's an international sitting out in front right now at 276 and 5. Brian Korth out of Ghent, Kentucky. Currently our first place leader in our 7,500-pound super stock class tonight. Green flags are on. Scott Buss, Denver, Iowa on board. Slowly builds the boost. Watch the smoke. Here again, the smoker class, the super stock class. This is true tractor pulling right here at Toma tonight. There are parts and pieces on the track. It looked like the bottom side of the motor came apart. Technical services jumping out there right there to make sure that there's no fire underneath. Safety is first and foremost. And this, the heaviest motorsport on wheels, NTPA Championship Pulling. Terry Blackburn out of Shullsburg, Wisconsin. A Case I-8 71-40. He's looking at Brian Korth's distance at 276 and 5. Brian currently sitting on top with a little bitty international 766. Terry Blackburn could get the job done. We know what he can do. We've seen him. One of the popular competitors, 7,500-pound super stock class, alcohol burner. Terry Blackburn. Green flags are out. It's all in his hands now. I believe we have a new first place competitor, Terry Blackburn, 286 and 4, a new first place leader. He makes it look oh so easy.
Once again this year, folks, the Toma Lions Club will be
Hagerstown, Indiana, his hometown, to Mark Fowles for the good-looking John Deere 7800. All the new style tin work. 7800 right here of Mark Fowles out of Hagerstown, Indiana. Tough competitor from top to bottom, and right here in the middle of the 7,500-pound super stock class. Chosen to park the sled about the center of this 66-foot track. It's his choice. He can park it where he wishes. We'll see what happens as he takes on Terry Blackburn's 286 and 4 leading distance here in the 7,500-pound super stock class. He had quite a bit of fire built, and he simply ran out of traction. Traction simply disappeared. Never pulled the engine down under about 2,800 RPMs. He simply ran out of grip on the track. Mark Fowles, Hagerstown, Indiana, a good, solid run for that John Deere. Our next competitor comes from across the state, Dayton, Minnesota, Esden Lane. Esden Lane on board the International 1486. International sits in first place right now in this class, and this is a tough class. 7,500-pound super stock. Not the lightweight division and not the heavyweight division of super stock competition. There is a lighter weight division at 5,500 and a heavyweight at 9,500. Tonight is a 7,500-pound super stock competition here at Toma. Terry Blackburn sitting on top at 286 and 4. This is Esden Lane, Dayton, Minnesota, on board a 1486 that he called Red Line Fever. Watch the diesel smoke. This one, a true smoker. The truest edition of truck tractor pulling, the smoker class. Right here is Esden Lane. Wow. Right down next to the inside line. Absolutely picture perfect run. And look where he ends up. He's down very, very close to that 300-foot mark. Esden Lane with a Red Line Fever lays down a beautiful, beautiful run tonight. Lloyd Newman, Fall River, Wisconsin. Super stock competition, 1762. The power plant on board. Lloyd Newman lines up. Esden Lane laid down a 297 and 3 for a new first place in this class. We'll see how Lloyd Newman gets along. He lines it up, lights it up. Lloyd Newman, chain is tight. Lights come on board the illuminator, indicating he is ready to go. The green flags come out. Esden Lane standing and watching as here comes Lloyd Newman on an alcohol burner. Straight shot, not exactly. He started to drift toward the center of the track, having placed it next to the inside. The Midnight Massey of Lloyd Newman walked it right down the track, but things kind of fell apart. About 285 or 290 feet for Lloyd Newman.
Dang good, looking out, dang good, looking out, dang good, looking out.
Onto the track right now comes the white out of 84, Pennsylvania. Richard Lustig in the seats. A 1994 white with a 3208 Caterpillar-powered machine under the hood. This man, probably one of the strongest competitors, 7,500-pound super stock classes to run the Grand National Circuit. Rich Lustig, I've seen him take a tractor down the track, blow it up, and have it back in pieces, ready to run the next afternoon. Richard Lustig from 84, Pennsylvania, our last competitor, 7,500-pound super stock class. The silver bullet from 84, Pennsylvania, Richard Lustig on board. Here he comes, the alcohol burner himself. 297 and 4-3, laid down by Isn't Late. Here he comes. One is going to be awfully close to call. Richard Lustig brings the silver bullet right down the track. He glues it to the track and brings it right straight down. Richard Lustig, 297 and 3. It's awful close. 291 and 5. They tell us 291 and 5 is second. Our first place winner in the 7,500-pound super stock, Esden Lane. That 297 laid a long time there in the dirt.
Yeah, she was kind of getting a little nervous back there, trying to wonder if the bullet and everybody else was going to get her up there, but I guess I eventually prevailed.
Well, that's what it takes. Did this track change once we started the class?
Well, you can decide what gear you can run and where to put the weight, air pressure, and all that stuff, what side of the track to run on to get a better traction or better hole shot.
I noticed a lot of the people started picking the inside area of the track, and some people it worked for and some people it didn't. What happens?
Well, I think the sled and the tractor like to drift a lot, and it's sometimes it's just a fine line to get the tractor to go straight right where you want to go.
Well, here on Wheel Power, you showed us exactly what it takes. Congratulations, Esden. First place. Welcome back to Toma. It's time for the Big Rig Series. The Big Rigs are 20,000-pound semi-tractors. You see them running up and down the road. Right now, you're going to see them up and down the dirt track here at Toma. That's right. These are the behemoths. These are the big ones that you pass on the road, or more likely, pass you. We've seen them. We've watched them pull, and this is probably the fastest growing popular class in NTPA championship pulling. Right now we're looking at Johnny Mann. Johnny Mann lines up. He's our test puller in this class. First man down the track tonight, Lady Butterfly. Test puller, he has the option. He goes to black with the smoke. Johnny Mann brings her down. Feet for John Mann, a full distance. The first man, the test puller, down the track tonight. John Mann, good looking yellow Peterbilt truck here at Toma.
Mr. Theobald.
Now making his way onto the track, Gary Reyes out of Hastings, Michigan. A 1975 Peterbilt Detroit powered. Now when you got started talking about the 20,000 pounds that these vehicles weigh coming down the track, you can get into all kinds of transmission and clutch combinations that it takes. Just keep in mind, you have 20,000 pounds of vehicle limit. You have 8 drive wheels. All 8 drive wheels must remain in contact with the track at all times. John Mann laid down a 300-foot run, moved back into the winner's circle, said, I'm going to take that one. I don't think I can do any better. So that's where things have been thrown down. That's the leading distance right now. And this is Gary Reyes. 75 Peterbilt. The lights are on board. The sled, it's all up to him. Brings the Stagecoach to a stop right at 300 feet. 299. You can't get any closer than that to full pull. 299 for Gary Reyes. making his way onto the track right now. The Mack-powered machine out of Chardon, Ohio, one and only J.R. Collins. If you're ever in a place, watch J.R. pull. Live and in person, always have a camera ready. When J.R. turns it loose down the track, J.R. gives you something to watch. Fire show and all. J.R. Collins, a tough competitor, a 1984 Mack. He now has 990 cubic inches, turning in excess of 1,800 horsepower out of this one. Turbochargers on both sides of this V8 engine. That's right, on both sides. Lights come on. This is J.R. Collins. Chardon, Ohio. Collins said, I'll take this one home. J.R. says, yes, I did. I know exactly what I did. A pull-off is in the making. It happened right here with the third man down the track. John Mann took it out. J.R. Collins brings it across with the Mack. We've had Peterbilts and we've had Macks. Now we bring a 1991 Marmon to the track. Out of Somerset, Pennsylvania, Mark Friedline behind the wheel of this one. 903 cubic inch Cummins-powered machine. Little different sound, but the power is still here. Mark Friedline, Somerset, Pennsylvania. He needs to join that group out the gate. We already have two in a full pull. This is going to be a very tough group of competition here tonight at Toma, Wisconsin. Good to have all of you with us. Power comes up. Two out the gate. Can we make it three? Oh, so close. So close you can see the wheels pulling down in this track here at Toma. Good, solid run with the going big time of Mark Friedline out of Somerset, Pennsylvania on board his 1991 Marmon. Big Rig Series continues. The first part of a father and son semi-pulling team. Right here out of Silver Lake, Indiana, all the way to Toma, Wisconsin, come the Metzgers. Metzger and Metzger. Dan Metzger and Mike Metzger. This is Dan. A 1980 Kenworth 1150 cubic inch displacement power plant on board this. The Super Trooper runs out of power about 295. Dan Metzger out of Silver Lake, Indiana, Cummins-powered Super Trooper machine, walks it down the track. Nice and quiet, but didn't make the 300-foot club. We'll be back with more of the big rigs from Toma after this. Welcome back to Wheel Power and welcome back to Toma, Wisconsin. The Big Rig Series underway right here as we bring Bernie Pidgeot from Hastings, Michigan onto the track. A 1992 Kenworth B12 powered machine ready to run. We have two out the gate. John Mann at 300 feet, J.R. Collins at 300 feet, and Gary Reyes right behind at 299. You can see a very tough class competition. 20,000 pounds maximum weight on these rigs that you're seeing down the track here tonight. Lights on the sled indicate that they are ready from the sled operator's position. And it's all up to Bernie right here. Power comes up. Slipper clutch on board these automatic transmissions. Power comes up. Watch the smoke. Hard to see, but it definitely goes black. He's walking that dog. He's walking down through there. The Stagecoach Express, a full pull. That's our third competitor out the gate.
Legend lives on.
Making his way to the track right now, Tom Lindsay out of Duncansville, Pennsylvania. 1976 Kenworth cab over Cummins powered machine. Now this is one of the ones that's going to look a little different coming down the track. Keep in mind, we have 8 wheels driving. 8 wheels must remain in contact with the track at all times. The front end is going to come in the air, and it's going to be a wild ride as Tom Lindsay comes down. Lindsay has the green flags from both ends of the track. It's all up to him now. Build the boost. Watch the front end. This one will come high in the air as they get underway. 20,000 pounds of power. Nose comes up. Look at the torque developed right out of that power plant. And he's even got time to pull the air horn and says, I'm going home. Built for business. Tom Lindsay, Duncansville, Pennsylvania, gives Jimmy Lidke quite a ride. That gives us 4 out the gate for a pull-off situation. This is turning out to be quite a class here at Toma. Very popular class with not only the crowd, but the pullers as well. They each like to see what the other can do down a dirt track with a dead weight sled behind them. 20,000 pounds, the legal limit these machines can weigh. The only difference between this and a class that otherwise might run will be the length of the chain connecting the truck to the sled. But right now, Guy Flock, New Stanton, Pennsylvania, 1970 Kenworth powered machine on board the Lidke Eliminator. Let's see how Jimmy can handle this run. Flightmen checking with each other, making sure that everything is clear for both ends of the track. The way these guys are coming down the track tonight, they want everything clear at the far end to make sure we can get everybody stopped. Guy Flock. Guy Flock out of New Stanton, Pennsylvania with the Scavenger. Good-looking cab-over rig. Proud to have him here at Toma. Next on the track, the other part of the father and son pulling team. This is Mike Metzger on board the Liberty Bell. Silver Lake, Indiana. This is a 1976 Kenworth 1150 cubic inch displacement power plant once again. Both of them. As this one lines up in front, turns it loose. He's got a good hold shot going. He can stay with it. The power not coming up. Now it does. Watch him run. Mike Metzger on board the Liberty Bell. And all of a sudden, about 295, the power leaves him. The Liberty Bell running very, very strong. Sounded pretty good coming off the line, about 220, 230 feet. Backed out of it. It didn't sound like it was going to come together, but all of a sudden, things sounded pretty good. 285, 290, that's where he's going to park the Liberty Bell tonight. On the track right now, Norman Larson, Alden, Minnesota, 1972 International. That's right, it's the only international, the binder if you prefer, of the trucking industry that you've seen on the track tonight. Detroit powered, underneath, cab over machine. 4 out the gate. Can we make it 5 right here? Norm Larson will wrap up everything down the track the first time tonight before we move to a pull-off situation. The green flags are out, and here he comes. Larson with a good straight shot down the track as he wrapped up this class. 2:97 and 9. 2:97.9 for Norm Larson on board the Ground Wolf. Welcome back to Tacoma, Wisconsin. It's pull-off time here on this edition of Wheel Power. That's right, we've had 4 competitors out the gate. 4 that ran 300 feet. We're about to see who will place 1, 2, 3, and 4 in this class. This is the Lady Butterfly. You saw her run a while ago. John Mann behind the wheel, 300 feet was the distance. We now move to a floating finish. John starts flipping switches, lighting up the Lady Butterfly. It means he's ready to come as well. Here he comes, Johnny Mann. And 9 for John Mann. 2:86 and 9. Quite an accomplishment considering we've re-weighted the sled, changed the gear speed, and changed the finish line. This is going to be a tough class all the way out. And the pull-off continues here at Tacoma. The best of the best, the big rigs here in competition tonight as we've taken 4 out the gate. We now have Johnny Mann sitting at 2:86 and 9, but this brings J.R. Collins, the Buckeye Bulldog himself, out to the line. He ran 300 feet a while ago. He walked across the line so fast, we thought he was headed home with the sled. J.R. Collins, he likes to pull, and he likes to have people enjoy him pull as well. Show off, baby, but a puller he is. Through and through. J.R. Collins gets the lights on the sled, saying they're ready. Down the track, both greens come out from our flagman. J.R. Collins lights them up, and here he comes. 2:86 and 9, laid down by Johnny Mann. That's what he's got to be. Floating finish shows 3:04 and 2. Remember, we went to a floating finish line here in a pull-off situation. J.R. Collins at 3:04 and 2. New first place right now. And the pull-off continues. Tiger Reyes brings the Stagecoach, a 1992 Kenworth with the horns mounted out on the front out here on the track. Now, remember, our pull-off uses a floating finish line. J.R. Collins laid down a 3:04 and 2. All 8 wheels must remain in contact with the ground at all times as they bring him down the track. Let's see how he gets along right here. JR's laid down 3:04 and 2. A nice straight shot down the track. A beautiful run. It's going to be close. Is he going to be in second place? It's hard to tell. Last competitor, pull-off competition, making his way to the track. Just a minute. That is Tom Lindsay. Remember the first time we saw him? Front end of the air, a lot of twist to that frame. A lot of torque developed by that power plant underneath. First place distance at 3:04.2. Second place is John Mann right now at 2:86 and 9. Tiger Reyes sits at 2:82 and 7. Tom Lindsay knows what it's going to take. going to have to bring it down the track straight, true, and stay with it. He's going to have a lot of momentum crossing 250 feet. If not momentum, surefire traction, and he's going to have to stay with it. That's what's going through his mind as he looks in these mirrors and sees the lights come on board the eliminator, looks out the windshield, sees the green flags come out. He knows what it's going to take right here. This is our last man down the track here at Toma tonight with our Big Rig Series. 10 feet, 310 feet for Tom Lindsay. Tom Lindsay with Built for Business. He really made it look easy down the track tonight. Tom Lindsay, you made it look real easy the first time down the track, but what happened the second time? You weren't even slowing down.
Oh, it felt pretty good.
This is your first Grand National win, correct?
That's right. Feels good. Feels good.
What better place to do it than right here at Toma?
Yeah, it's quite a place. Quite a place.
I take it that not only being a first place win, but you'll probably be back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I imagine that's true. Well, just a minute, the crowd's going to get a chance to express their appreciation, but this edition of Wheel Power takes the opportunity to congratulate Tom Lindsay. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that wraps up this edition of Wheel Power from Toma, Wisconsin. We'll see you next year right here.
Pack Motorsports. It's your ringside ticket to excitement. What once began as a test for Mann has turned into a fury of pulling power. From air-launching monster trucks to the quest for speed and time, the unlimited matching of wheels and motors has sent us spinning into the world of wheel power. Power Pack Motorsports. It's the excitement of power that puts man on the edge and the quest for victory that takes him over.
Good afternoon and welcome to Fort Recovery Ambassador Park. We are here for the 10th annual Enderley Pull-Off Competition as we bring the best of the best to the competition track of Fort Recovery, Ohio. Welcome back to Fort Recovery, Ohio for the Enderley Pull-Off. This, the 10th annual competition. We're here with Kent and Joan Enderley, all the way from California, 10th anniversary. Glad to have you here.
Oh, thank you, Alan. It's our pleasure.
Once again, we talk about the Enderley fuel injection products, but that's not really what we're talking about. We're talking about money, the money that you have contributed over the years, and how much this year?
Well, this year, Alan, we're going to give over $40,000 for this event, and we'll have a total of over $300,000 for our 10 years.
Absolutely. One of the largest single supporting organizations in this competition of truck and tractor pulling. And Kent, we're glad you're here, and it's going to be a beautiful weekend. First competitor up, two-wheel drive, regional national, as we say, welcome back to Fort Recovery. We're underway with Enderley Pull-Off competition, two-wheel drive, regional national, James Wilson. James Wilson, a regional national competitor out of Region 1, on board the Renegade 1923 T-Bucket machine. Gives us our first test down the track on board the Renegade out of Huntingtown, Maryland. Two-wheel drive competition continues here in Enderley Pull-Off. This is Jim Kerr, Upper Sandusky, Ohio. He calls this one Good Vibration. James Wilson has the leading distance of 2:85 and 9. The leading distance right now in this class, 2:85 and 9, the leading distance. He's got a little bit of a problem someplace in the drivetrain or perhaps electrical. Jim Kerr, 242 and 4. As we look now to the two-wheel drive side again, Nolan Hall, Mason, Michigan. The Wolverine Hauler. He has chosen to place the sled a little differently on the starting line, moving a little closer to the inside line right here. Maybe you've seen a little different the way the track is going to come together, watching the competitors ahead of him come down the track. Nolan Hall, Mason, Michigan, the Wolverine Hauler. Bringing that Wolverine Hauler down the track in absolutely excellent, picture-perfect run. Working his way up distance-wise to 278 and 5. With 3 down and 1 left to run, regional national two-wheel drive Enderley competition right here. Doug Christensen, Glencoe, Minnesota, on board the Pack Rat 4. The home-built machine, 1994 in vintage. And once again, he has chosen a different spot for the sled on the starting line. This is the last of the two-wheel drive regional national competitors right here. A good straight shot down the track for him, but it's not going to put him up on top in this class. And so James Wilson Jr. out of Huntington, Maryland, wins the two-wheel drive regional national competition here today. Welcome back, everyone. The top 5 competitors on the Grand National scale, unlimited division. Right here, Mr. Dave Banner, LaFontaine, Indiana, on board Mr. Chevrolet. The winningest driver in competition history down the track has chosen an inside spot for the sled, parking it near the inside line. The green flags come out. David Banner, 1 of 5 right here in unlimited competition. Mr. David Banner with a full pull, the first man down the track, unlimited Grand National competition here tonight. The second of 5 of our top competitors, the unlimited Grand National Enderley Pull-Off, the Kendall Kodiak machine, beautifully designed and tough competitor. Backs in, right square into the sled, the Lidke Eliminator, as they hook the chain and the kill switch into place. Tries to get the green flag, and he does. Here he goes. The Kendall Kodiak in-laws and outlaws pulling team, 284 and 7, following the full pull run of Dave Banner. So a little bit short the full pull distance. The top 5 on the Grand National circuit right here in Enderley Pull-Off competition. This is Tom Martin out of Bonnie, Illinois. Martin Brothers pulling team bringing that machine down the track all summer long, ending up in the top 5. Good enough to make it to the pull-off Fort Recovery, Ohio. This is Tom Martin. It started to get a little bit away from him as he brings it on down. Tom Martin out of Bonnie, Illinois, with a good, solid run here tonight. Gonna be short of 300 feet. With 3 down and 2 left to run, we bring Randy Petro from Camden, Ohio, to the track on board the multi-chaos machine. Randy Petro out of Camden, Ohio, a full pull laid down by David Banner, the distance he has to make. Randy Petro can do it. He's chosen an inside spot with a sled next to the center line. Here he comes. Petro out of Camden, Ohio, the multi-chaos machine, going to show up a little short of 300 feet, but an excellent run, absolutely picture perfect, just comes up a couple of feet short. David Banner cannot lose this competition tonight. He already has the first machine out the gate, out 300 feet, a full pull. This is the second machine to the track, the Bandit out of LaFontaine, Indiana. Can he do it again here tonight? Only Dave Banner knows for sure. Mr. David Banner, he is currently in first place. Can he take first and second? David Banner has done it again, placing first and second in the unlimited Grand National Enderley pull-off once again. Dave Banner, the winningest driver, the winningest competitor in Enderley pull-off competition. Dave, you've won 6 times. Am I not mistaken?
Yeah, that's right. I've really had some good luck with the Enderley pull-off, and it's worked out good for me.
We'll be back for the Enderley Pull-Off, the 10th anniversary right here, Ambassador Park, Fort Recovery, Ohio, right after this. £7,200 modified competition. Regional, national qualifiers. 4 of them on the track tonight. This is Gary Mills, Boston, Maryland. He calls this one to go. You're looking at turbine power right here. Gary Mills, Boston, Maryland. The first man down the track, 7,200-pound modified regional, national competition. A straight shot down the track, but he simply lacked the traction that it was going to take. £7,200 modified regional national competitors. This is Region 3. Glencoe, Minnesota, hometown of Mr. Dennis Christensen on board the Pack Rat 4. Now we saw a marvelous run by Gary Mills. 254 and 8. He said, yes, I'll take that pull. He had the option. Dennis Christensen out of Glencoe, Minnesota, with a distance of 260.1. It's good enough for first place right now in the 7,200-pound modified class. 2 down and 2 to go as we look now to Brian Diekman on board the Rat Poison machine here in 7,200-pound modified regional national competition. Brian Diekman, Northwood, Ohio, the Rat Poison machine. The leading distance right now in this class, Dennis Christensen laid down a beautiful run for 260.1. Brian Diekman, Northwood, Ohio. The green flags are out. .287. I believe we're going to have a new leader in this class. Brian Diekman, Northwood, Ohio, blows the leading distance right out of the water. The fourth and final competitor in our 7,200-pound modified regional national championship run. Scott Tedder, Marion, Indiana, Region 2. He calls this one Mr. Twister. Watch it come down the track. I think you'll understand exactly why the name is so apropos. He has also chosen an inside spot for the sled, another way to our left. If we look down the track, the left-hand side of the starting line, he has chosen to park the sled. Brian Diekman currently sits in first place at 287 and 4. This is Scott Tedder. Scott Tedder, a very disgusted young man, as he crouched that left-hand line just a little too much and ends up disqualified tonight. That will give Brian Diekman the win here tonight in 7,200-pound modified regional national competition. Four-wheel drive competition, Grand National Enderley Pull-Off here at Ambassador Park, Fort Recovery, Ohio. First man to the line tonight out of Wasion, Ohio, on board the four-play Chevrolet is Paul Holman. Paul Holman qualifying number 1 in the four-wheel drive. As we have 5 competitors to run in this pull-off situation, the top 5 competitors come right here to Fort Recovery to pull the championship. The money that is available from the Enderleys in Enderley pull-off competition has continued to grow over the years. It's at better than $40,000 for 1996. Paul Holman wants his share of that money. Four-wheel drive competition, Grand Nationals here. The top 5 are here. This is number 1. He gives us an excellent run right straight down the track. Paul Holman, Wasion, Ohio, with a good run here tonight. With 1 down and 4 to go, four-wheel drive competition at the Grand National level continues here at Fort Recovery. This is James Bosch out of West Olive, Michigan, on board a 1987 Chevrolet. He is entitled the Midnight Raider. Tough competition throughout the year, ending up in the number 2 slot, .1. Every competition carries with it points. Each and every time these vehicles hook up and down the campaign trail, they are awarded points. This is your number 2 point man right here. James Bosch out of West Olive, Michigan, four-wheel drive competition, Enderley pull-off here, Grand National Circuit, Fort Recovery, Ohio. James Bosch, 286 even, laid down by Paul Holman. Distance to beat right now. Gives us a mighty good performance down the track with the Midnight Raider out of West Olive, Michigan. James Bosch showing why he is number 2 right down the track. 2 down and 3 to go. Four-wheel drive competition, Grand National level, right here. Brings Jeff Schaefer out of Mount Vernon, Ohio, to the line. The win, lose, or draw machine, a 1992 Chevrolet. Vintage, not an issue for Jeff Schaefer. An S10, not really an issue. Mount Vernon, Ohio, the hometown for this man. Green flags come out both ends of the track. Jeff Schaefer needs 286 or better out of Mount Vernon, Ohio. Here he comes. Jeff Schaefer with an excellent run down the track. The win, lose, or draw machine. He does. A new leader in this class. Jeff Schaefer on board the win, lose, or draw machine. Next up to the line, your 1995 defending champion, four-wheel drive out of Thompson, Missouri, Terry Hagedorn. The Hungry Heartbeat machine finishing in 4th place right now for the year. Last year's #1 winner, #1 champion. Currently chasing the points championship, which will finish right here tonight. The Enderley pull-off says it all. Terry Hagedorn has to lay down better than 287 and 7. He knows it can be done. Backs up to the sled, making sure that everything is set, is square. That is a very important part of this. As these four-wheel drive machines, once you turn them loose off of the line, they want to go pretty well straight down the track. We'll see how Terry Hagedorn, Thompson, Missouri, on board the Hungry Heartbeat machine gets along as he lines up, ready to come. The green flags are out on both ends of the track. Here he comes. Yes, he does. He gets the job done. And Terry Hagedorn takes over on the lead here tonight. Four-wheel drive competition in Enderley pull-off. Get everybody out to the track. Our 5th and final competitor, four-wheel drive, Grand National competitor. Right here is Scott Smith out of Winchester, Virginia, the Three Bears pulling team. This is the one we often talk about, that the only allowable second passenger front seat right here. Look very closely. You can see the passenger riding. That's right. Scott Smith has a co-pilot down the track. 289 and 7 laid down by Terry Hagedorn is currently the leading distance in this class. Did he get the job done? Yes, indeed, he most certainly did. Scott Smith, Winchester, Virginia, the Three Bears pulling team, the new leader and winner of this class. Four-wheel drive, Grand National tonight. 292 and 8. The new winner, new leader and winner in this class, Scott Smith out of Winchester, Virginia. Welcome back to Port Recovery, Ohio for the Enderley Pull-Off. This, the 10th annual competition. The top 5 in 7,200-pound modified are here in competition. This is #1 on the track. Judy Knipstein out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Judy Knipstein brings that machine out to the track. At this point, backing up to the sled. Very, very critical as she must be straight headed down the track. Rolls up tight on the chain. All pulls must start with a tight chain. A slight bump indicates that she is, in fact, ready to go. Judy Knipstein, our test puller, 7,200-pound modified. Judy Knipstein with an absolutely perfect run right down the center of the track. Brings the Litke Eliminator down just over that 350, 280-foot mark. But a beautiful run for Judy Knipstein out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Making his way onto the track right now out of North Collins, New York, the Chevrolet Thunder of Joe Ader. Joe Ader has looked down the track. The 282-foot distance laid down by Judy Knipstein, the distance to beat. Only 5 in this class. The top 5 from across the country here in Grand National competition, 7,200-pound modified class. And he comes down the track almost the exact same tracks that Judy Knipstein laid down. And he makes it look good, but he's got to come up just a little bit short. Joe Ader out of North Collins, New York, on board the Chevrolet Thunder. Coming into this competition in the #1 position is Bob Jostock out of Lapeer, Michigan, on board the Wild Child. He's been in a points race chase all summer long. It all culminates right here at Fort Recovery. Judy Knipstein leads the class right now. Bob Jostock right behind. Here he comes. Starts to drift just a little bit off to the edge of the track, but he does, in fact, control things just over the 250-foot mark. He's going to come up a good deal short of the leading distance of 282. Randy Petro, #3 to this point, out of Camden, Ohio, on board the Multi-Chaos machine. His first year in the 7,200-pound modified class, and he finishes the year in 3rd place. The green flags fly from both ends, and this is Randy Petro. And he starts to drift a little bit closer to the inside than he'd perhaps like to. 268 feet even. Anyone who knows anything about modified competition will recognize this man. Out of La Fontaine, Indiana, on board the Bandit, we're talking David Banter. Finishing #2 for the season. It all comes down to one final run right here, and the leading distance held by Judy Knipstein at 282 feet. This is the last of 5 competitors here in Enderley pull-off competition for the 10th year in a row. Starts to drift just a little bit off to the edge of the track. He's going to come up a good deal short of the leading distance of 282. We're here with Judy Knipstein, the first woman in history to win an Enderley competition. Judy, congratulations.
Thank you. It really makes me feel super good to win because this competition is really tough. We've been here before and we've never won, so this is exceptionally special for all of us.
Up next, Regional National Competitors 4-wheel drive. Our first man up and on the line, Mike O'Connor out of Blooming Prairie, Minnesota. The Nasty Boys 1984 Dodge Region 3 qualifier here, 4-wheel drive competition at the regional national level, right here in the Enderley pull-off competition for the 10th year in a row. brings it down right straight down the track with a good run. Mike O'Connor, Blooming Prairie, Minnesota, the first man down the track here, is going to put the benchmark in place for the rest of the class to run for. Making his way onto the track right now, the Region 1 qualifier for four-wheel drive. From Winchester, Virginia, the Enforcer, a 1994 Ford 350, driven by Willie Olds. Willie Olds qualifying out of Region 1. Here again, we're talking four-wheel drive competition, and we only have 4 qualified. Each region qualifies to send one to the Enderley Pull-Offs here at Fort Recovery, Ohio, each and every year. This is the 10th annual. And there's your new leader in the class. Ladies and gentlemen, he came right down and blew Mike O'Connor's distance right out of the water. Willie Oates out of Winchester, Virginia, the new leader here, four-wheel drive competition, 10th annual Enderley Pull-Off. With 2 down and 2 to go. The 1987 Chevrolet called the Saddle Tramp. Behind the steering wheel, in the driver's seat, Steve Moe. One of 4 qualifiers here today. Four-wheel drive competition, regional, national level. Columbia, Missouri is home to Steve Moe. He comes down the track with a straight run, but he's going to come up a little short of that full pull distance. And Steve Moe going to come up a few feet short. Last up in competition here in four-wheel drive, regional national. This is Rob Foster out of Fairgrove, Michigan. He calls this one simply Red. 1995 Chevrolet. Qualifying out of Region 2, make his way here to the Enderley Pull-Offs in Fort Recovery, Ohio. Willie laid down a 3:03.6. Rob Foster, Fairgrove, Michigan, simply Red.